The Final Four is now over. It is Championship Monday for NCAA men's basketball, and we are getting excited. My boy's even more excited for it. Let's get into it. What is going on, spectators? Welcome back to episode 130 of The Spectators. It is, what is it, April 4th, 2022, which is absolutely crazy. March is over, but the madness is continuing because we have the NCAA National Championship going on tonight between Gerard's very own North Carolina Tar Heels and the Kansas Jayhawks. My name is Julian. I'm here with BK and Gerard. What's going on, boys?
What's up? What's
Yo,
up?
yo, yo, how we doing, Jew?
Bro, I'm doing amazing. I hope y'all are doing incredible as well. We had a
Yes,
great
yes.
weekend of games. We had a lot of great NBA games, which we're not going to get too much into. Spring training is wrapping up, and the MLB season is getting here, which we're excited about, which we'll talk about in a different episode this week. We're going to leave this one specifically for college just to get our full emotions and excitement for it all out of the way. Gerard, how are you feeling?
Boy, I am on cloud. Is there anything over cloud 9? Because if there is,
Cloud 10,
that's
baby.
where I'm chilling. That's where I'm chilling at. I'm
I'm,
chilling there.
I'm sure you could get there, not naturally, but you can get there.
Not
No,
nasty.
I am on the most natural high ever.
Amazing. We love that.
Yeah, and
And
it was a big weekend, but as Brooklyn, I'm sure, is about to allude to, we just put out one of your vlogs
yep,
from a couple weeks ago. You were at the first and second round that first weekend. You went to one of the games, your first time ever going to the tournament games. Give us a little bit about that before we get into everything.
Yeah, of course. First game ended up being, it was the round of 32 games. That was the weekend I went to. So the first game was Duke, Michigan State. So, we got to see Izzo versus Coach K for the last time ever. And to me, it was very surreal because Izzo is one of my favorite coaches outside of UNC. So getting to see him play and just like see how he was coaching up a team that almost didn't make the tournament and having him stand up to Coach K for 3/4, or actually probably like the most of the game until the very end, honestly, having him stack up with that. And then getting to see Coach K is something that's, obviously you know how I feel about him. I mad respect for the coach. Glad we put him in the dirt though, you know what I'm
Dirt to
saying?
the crib.
But exactly. And then getting to see that was respect. Like it was awesome to see Paolo Benchero, future NBA prospect, probably top 5 pick, without a doubt. Seeing to get him to play was awesome. And then flipping the game, going to Auburn versus Miami. Possible number 1 overall pick, Jabari Smith. Getting to watch him play was pretty good. He didn't really do much, but just to say I was there, watching the upset with Miami, it was just I don't know, man. It was good times. My brother is a Duke fan. Got to see his team win. Well, with Tony Alvarez, Tony is a Miami fan. Got to see him win. So vlog turned out great. Everyone was happy. Good vibes. Good times for sure.
and make sure
Yeah,
you guys go check that out on YouTube now.
Go check it.
And it was dope. It was dope. The
Check.
atmosphere seemed crazy, so I know you guys were lit out there.
It's just a vibe with the
Yeah.
college, the bands. The bands make the whole like stadium lit
hmm
because you don't have to play like regular music. You just play the band music all game, and it's awesome feeling.
I want to go to a big college game so bad, whether it's basketball or football, but like a huge one of that nature. I need to go to one so bad.
I'll
Hey,
tell you what, they're
next
different.
They're
There's
so different.
They're
so
different.
different.
They're
Next
so
year though,
different.
next year first round, second round in Orlando. So you know where I'm gonna
The
be.
spectators gonna be there.
It's a
Mark
lot
it.
closer. It's a lot closer.
Book it
That's
right now.
that's
Lock it
sick.
in.
Yeah, and going to those games are really fun. So I'm happy you're able to get that, go over there, catch the important games. It wasn't for your team, but we were able to see, your brother and Tony's team. So it's kind of your team, but de facto, despite
Hmm.
them being ACC foes. But
Right.
but you get a little bragging rights now because they got to see their team. But you're sitting here,
I'm sitting
just
pretty.
got past the Final Four and took
Oh,
on Duke in Coach K's last game, or what could have been his last game. Turns out to have been his last game. Um, to end the season, you guys took out Coach K in his last game at Cameron Indoor. Get to play them again in the tournament for the first time in history where the Tar Heels and the Blue Devils play each other. It's the best rivalry in the sport. How are you feeling coming into this game?
so I'm gonna date back real quick just to the Duke UNC matchup, Coach K's last home game. After we walked out with the win there, my chest was pumped high. I'm like, you'll never see us again. Like, this is it. This is how it went out for you guys. I was all proud, happy. And then as like the tournament progressed, it was just so like gut wrenching. Like, we would win, they would win, we would win, they would win, then they would win, and we would win. And I'm sitting here. We're playing St. Peter's, so I wasn't too worried about getting to the Final Four. And then I think the Elite Eight, they played Texas Tech, and I would have put everything I had on Texas Tech if
It
I
was a good
had it.
game too.
Great game. They pulled it out, and then I'm like, they got to go against Houston, or was it, Arkansas? Arkansas they went against. And I was like, I don't think Arkansas can hang with them, and they couldn't. So once I saw the matchups, I was like, it's going to happen. And all week, I think I was nervous. I was extremely nervous because I'm like, dang, Coach K is he's really gonna put it on us after we just ruined his homecoming game.
Mhm.
But it didn't happen, so I'm happy. I'm
It,
happy.
it, it didn't happen. This is one of the best games I've seen in a while. There's always recency bias when we see a game and talk about it the next day, you know. But
Yeah.
having all the extra stuff, right? Having this be the best rivalry in the sport, despite Roy Williams not there. How much better would it have been if Roy Williams were there, right?
Uh, iconic.
It was
Right?
dope that he was in the crowd
It
though.
was
So
awesome that he
Oh
was
shout
yeah.
out.
there. Or it was kind of cool that he wasn't there, and so you had the new guard at UNC taking on the last of the old guard. Like it's cool either way. And
Hmm.
UNC just had pretty much an insanely miraculous second half of the season where they were pretty awful to start the year. And they turned it around. They found their stride. They wind up beating Duke twice and Baylor once and UCLA. And now they had an opportunity to get into the championship. And Baycott had a phenomenal game. I mean, he had like 21 boards. It was something stupid. He was just a man. Um,
Akot's
love
on a tear.
Baycott is just like a box out king. Apparently, like nobody's ever learned how to box him out. And
He's just a magnet. Like he has the ball magnet badge. Like
yeah,
that's just what he has on him.
Did you guys want the stats from the last 5 games?
yes,
Yeah, let's give it to us.
So
yes,
17 and 10, 15 and 16, 14 and 15, 20 and 22, and then the last game 11 and 21.
The
20
St.
and
Peter's
22.
game was
God,
absolutely insane because I'm pretty sure he had 17 or 18 of those in the first half.
yeah,
It's insane.
that's crazy. And yeah, I mean, you could see it from that Baylor game. Like he just was actually taking over. For college is an interesting thing because in the NBA to take over for the most part you got to score cuz it's such a fast-paced league. You have to score cuz you're going to score 110. College is not that way. If you're scoring 88 points or in this case this game was like 81 to 77, that's a lot in college. So, slowing the game down, getting boards, being able to make a big block or two, those are the things that like take over a game and change it. And he does all of those things. He, creates weird shot opportunities and just gets boards when he needs them. Yeah, I think he had like 8 offensive boards in this game. 8 offensive boards in this game. If he doesn't get
8.
2 of those, they lose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally 2 of those, they lose.
Yeah.
I think
No
a
cap.
big I think a big component of that game that played in our favor was the Mark Williams, who's their big man, who is just not as dominant on the board, but defensively, averaging close to 3 blocks a game. He only played 17 minutes because of foul trouble.
Yeah.
He played 4 minutes in the first half, so we were able to. We didn't do much in the paint until the second half, still, but not having him there for a majority of the game helped us out tremendously.
Yeah, and a big reason you guys won this game, Duke just could not get it going from 3, like at
Hmm.
all. I think they're like 22% from the 3-point line, and
5 for 22.
that's just not gonna get it done against a team like UNC, who wasn't particularly a great perimeter defending team. They have some good, ISO defenders, but as a team, they weren't like tremendous defending the three this year. You gotta hit a couple of them. Like you gotta shoot 30%, and not doing that, you're just flat out missing your shots. And it's not like Duke played bad. I don't think they played bad at all. It was just a well played game. There's a lot of foul shots shot from both sides. Um, and I think the lead changed like 16 times. This is kind of ridiculous.
It was, I think, the. I was telling Brooklyn this earlier before we got on here. The big game changer for us, and I think for every game in the tournament, has been Caleb Love. But not Caleb Love for the full game. Caleb
Just
Love
the
at
big boy
halftime.
moments. Yeah,
At halftime, because he had 0 points in the first half, and he finished with 28 points in the game.
yeah.
That doesn't make sense, and
It
that's not
makes
his first time doing that this tournament. I think it was UCLA.
the UCLA game he popped off. Yeah,
He had three at half, and he finished with 30.
yeah.
Like he changed his shoes or whatever. Did that same thing against
He took
Baylor.
the secret sauce.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what it is. Like, I wish you would play like that the whole game. Gonna put me at ease a little bit more, but can't complain. And then
It's one of
Brady
those
does
you
it.
see it go through and then you get your confidence back type deals. You know?
Exactly.
I think it has nothing to do with any of that. I think he's throwing for the first half,
Oh,
and then the
true.
second half he knows that all right, they're gonna play off of me a little bit, and then once he starts getting it rolling, now they're on their heels, and he just goes off. And
He's
by the time they
throwing.
catch up, it's over. They
He
can't do
was.
anything about it because
It,
now he dropped 20, and it's like whoa, what happened? Y'all ain't gonna play defense? What happened?
Exactly.
it's
So
like when you're playing your little brother in Madden and you like let him score the first two touchdowns and then
mhm.
you like, oh, hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta sit out.
But I think him and RJ Davis, they're like great complements of each other because RJ Davis has a lot of damage early, and then he kind of coasts for the rest of the way. But him with the ball, I think so. Let's back up to the beginning of the season. Caleb Love was our primary ball handler, and I think that's what went wrong because that's not what he is. He's an off-ball scorer. So we gave the ball to RJ Davis. We said, "You make the plays, you get everyone involved," and that's when Caleb Love started to become the Caleb Love that we're seeing right now. So it took a while for us to get that going, and now that we're here, I'm chilling. I'm loving it.
He's
And that's
chilling.
a testament to a good team. You figure out where everybody falls in, you play your role, and you execute. You don't try to
Exactly.
do too much and get out of your character. You know this guy gonna do whatever he doing, and you know you do something else a little better. Let's run it. And look at where it took them. It's a big shout out to that.
For sure. And big shout out to Duke, their team this year. For a bunch of like young dudes and team like this team was not put together at all last year. And this year they came out for his last year and did the best that they could. Paolo Banchero, however you say his name. He's gonna be a top five pick, and that's
Yeah.
he put up 20. Then you had Keels this past game, Trevor Keels. He's their backup guard. Put up 19 off the bench. And it just seemed like they played really good together as a team. Just the magic wore off.
Yeah, and they were susceptible to strange losses a lot this year. Like almost all of their losses in the regular season were like to unranked teams and just like to guys who came in wanting to win, like really wanting to win. That's kind of what it felt like all year. And it happened one last time. It was just they kind of got outwilled here. And it was a talented team that you said, they weren't well put together last year. It was better this year, where there's only so
Mhm.
much that an 1 foot out the door Coach K can galvanize you. And a Final Four is a pretty good, not great galvanization point. Like sheesh, that's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
actually crazy. Um, so we got UNC in the finals. We mentioned it a couple of times. The 8 seed from the ACC, a down year in the ACC. We get 3 teams in the Elite Eight, 2 in the Final Four. No Louisville, no Syracuse, no Virginia, no problem. It's crazy,
Exactly.
crazy. We're gonna flip over to the other side though, and I mentioned ACC because I think that's a big part of this Kansas run. Before the Villanova game, Kansas was on the ropes a little bit, if you want to say, to ACC team Miami Hurricanes. They made a tremendous run in this tournament. Like you said, you got to watch them beat Auburn. And then the best half of basketball that has been played this entire season happened in the whole sport. They go on a 47-15 run in the second half. And the way that they just like came in a half, just absolutely pressing and firing on all cylinders, like defensively. They were just swarming. And they looked like the athletic group of guys that we kind of expect from Kansas. The same type of team that was the best team in the country in the COVID season that never happened. And from then on, so you got that half and then the full game of this Villanova game. I have not seen a team this dominant in college basketball since like the Anthony Davis Kentucky Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have been devastatingly impressive for the last, what is that, 60 minutes of basketball?
Right. Yeah. Bill Self, obviously Hall of Fame coach,
Yeah.
one of the
Oh,
best college coaches of all time. He knows how to get this team going at the right time. They've had unfortunate tournament mishaps
yeah.
every year since '08, probably when they
And in
won the
2020, they
last
were
champ.
handily the best team in the country, and just the tournament
Easy.
didn't happen. Like they were gonna win
Exactly.
every game in that tournament by 25. Like I was actually convinced of that.
Exactly. And then, but for him to get that team together, for a lot of the year, Remy Martin was hurt, so he got back and got into the flow of things. I'm gonna butcher his name because I've been Ochahi or
Yeah,
the Agbaji or however you say his name,
I
their
think it's
best player.
Agbaji. I think it's
Yeah,
Agbaji.
Agbaji. Yeah, he's averaging 18 points this year, and he's going crazy. And he's been consistent from day one. So that played a huge part. And then you got McCormick, who who's averaging 10 points a game because there's just so much talent on this roster. It's hard for most people to break out, but he
Yeah.
puts up 25 in a game against Villanova, just dominates, and there's nothing you
He
can
looked
do.
like Baby Shaq.
He did.
Like he was
Actually
ridiculous.
unstoppable.
There was nothing you could do. Anything he wanted, he got. There was one play where he caught it. He shoulders towards the rim a little bit, backs up, hits somebody on his way over, and then just puts it up, and that was it. What are you gonna do about that? Like he's just getting bodied, pinballed around in the paint, still putting it up,
Well,
slamming it,
and it's
still.
crazy because this was a really good defense, and I was watching some stuff before and after the game, and Bill Self after the game was like a little surprised with this team. He was like, "Yeah, we came into this game legitimately concerned about Villanova's defense, as you should have been." I said before the tournament, me and G talked about. I thought they were the best defensive team in the tournament, and if they were
Hmm.
gonna lose, it was because they got straight up outplayed. I don't know if you remember us talking about that, G, but I was like, the
Yeah, I
only way
remember.
they lose is if they just get outshot. And guess what
And
happened? And guess
they
what
got
happened?
outshot. They
Kansas
got
came into this
outshot.
game, and it took shooting 54% from three to wind up winning. And they wound up winning by like 16 or something like that. It got away at the end. It was really a closer game than the final score uh, shows.
Exactly.
But, oh my, bro.
Yeah.
They, in the first half particularly, in the first half in particular, this team could not miss. It felt like, you know, when you're playing, or we'll go back to 2K. You know, when you're playing 2K and like this guy's just taking like bad timing shots and they're just dropping because like momentum's on their side. It's like, why is momentum a game mechanic? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Apparently, it does make sense. Apparently, it makes sense because everything was dropping for Kansas. And it was like scary. I watched the first half of this game. I didn't watch the whole second half. I was like, wow, it doesn't matter who wins this Duke UNC game right now, does it? Like I was just like, wow, it just does not matter. And then we got
Yeah.
a really good game at a Duke UNC, and I was like, okay, maybe it does. Okay, we're back, we're back.
Yeah.
It's just the way they played was just so Kansas just played so dominant. And like the Villanova, they did not play bad at all. Like as you
No,
just said it,
no,
they played good. Like they had a good game. Their defense did what they could.
like you can't stop good shooting. That's the one thing about basketball.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel for Gillespie. Gillespie's one of those like dudes we'll probably never really hear from again. But he gave everything. 17 points this past game, and they were missing Samuels. That was huge. Their second
Yeah.
best player. Without him on the team, it was hard for them to get anything going consistently.
Yeah, and again, like the way that Kansas kind of played in this game, like every they everybody, all their starters and then their six man just gave them like 25 strong minutes where I was like, if you're not five strong, like you're gonna have a tough time because we are just more athletic than you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's literally just kind of what it was. I mean, they just got out athleted. It's crazy.
What can you do at that point? Because if you can do all the preparation before, and then if you get there and it's still not good enough, like damn,
Yeah, and like we were talking about Agbaji earlier. Again, if we're saying his name wrong, I'm sorry.
we probably are.
We probably are. The way that he's kind of played this year, right? He's been like a very typical, like he's gonna be a good two guard probably in the league. Like he just has that shot and that confidence that he's gonna come into the league and be a good scorer. I'm like very confident in that. And he looked more confident than he did all season in this game. He took 8 shots, and there wasn't a single time he shot the ball where I didn't think it was going in.
Hmm.
Dude, he took 8 shots. He made 6 of them, and all of them were threes. He made 6 threes. That's where all his points came from. He
and
was
he
6 of 7
he's
from
their
three.
primary scorer, and he just didn't decide to shot create this game. It didn't matter. He didn't need to.
You
And
didn't
he
need
made
to.
3 free throws. That was it. But hey, it accounted for a quarter of their points. So
It's just crazy, dude.
And that's the thing when he's putting up 21, you got
Again-
McCormick putting up 25. Like,
What are you
what
gonna-
can you do? They're looking like Shaq and Kobe out there. What are you gonna do?
legit.
Literally, I'm gonna be very very real here. Um, I think this matchup's a little scary. Go look into the championship, right? Um, I think Kansas is a 4 point favorite, so actually not too bad in terms of like a spread. That's actually pretty decent odds. The money line's pretty close. I think they tend to do that anyway for the championship. Vegas gets a little scared.
Mhm.
I don't like this matchup at all. I don't. I know how Gerard's gonna feel about it, and that's completely okay. But
I'll let Brooklyn go first.
yeah, I just think after these last 6 quarters of basketball or 6 halves of basketball or whatever it is, whatever I'm trying to say, dude,
I think it all comes down to, and I mentioned this to both of you before we started, the McCormick Baycott matchup is going to be the centerpiece of this game and decide where it's going to go. Is Baycott going to be able to go crazy and get these boards? If he does, maybe UNC got a chance. Is McCormick going to go ahead and go Shaq mode again? Because if he does,
it's
I'm
tough.
sorry, G.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I'm sorry.
If he balls out like he did in this game, it might be a rough one, and that's kind of what I'm feeling here.
Yeah. And then are you going to rely on Caleb with his 50% appearance rate?
As long as it's in the second half, bro. So one thing,
But that's the thing, though. If it's in the second half with this Kansas team, it might be too late. You guys
that's-
might be having to come back with his second half performance, and
that's-
That's
that's
not
the
where you want to
thing.
be.
that's the thing about that. He's been doing that this whole tournament. So we'll date
Yes,
back
yes.
to Baylor.
He
Yeah.
has he has.
We'll date
Yes.
back to Baylor, who Baylor's the reigning champs. We're up 26 points before Brady
And then
gets
you weren't.
ejected. Yeah, but then because he got ejected. If he didn't get
And-
ejected, they weren't coming back. He gets
Hindsight
ejected,
crazy.
Hindsight's
and then
crazy.
Caleb Love's like, okay, well, you know what? It's my turn now. I got to do this. Bam, comes up, puts up 20 something points, 26 maybe. Fast forward next game, UCLA. Caleb Love doesn't do much in the first half. He has 3 points. We're hanging in there. That's the thing. Our team is deep enough. Actually, I'm not even gonna say our team. Our starting five is deep enough to where they can hang on as long as we can until Caleb's like, all right, bro, it's where you at? It's halftime. Go change your shoes. Do whatever you got to do. And we comes out and balls out. We have been, in my opinion, we've been the hottest team in this tournament. We beat Marquette by 30. We were up by 26 on Baylor. We went a barn burner against UCLA. turn around, destroy St. Peter's, come in, beat Duke in Coach K's final game and Final Four, we're going to be hard to stop. I think we're going to be hard to stop. I think Baycott's a better player than McCormick. I think I'm giving the matchup to Baycott. What I think the biggest matchup is going to be, it's going to be a one-sided matchup, but it's going to be how Leaky Black can guard Agbaji. That's going to be huge because he's our defender, and he held AJ Griffin to 7 points, like 12 points in the last two games. He held um, Juzang, he had him locked up pretty well. I forget who their main guy is on Baylor, but he locked him up for most of the game. He locked Doug Eddert, the guy from St. Peter's. He didn't do nothing all game.
Doug.
So he consistently takes out their top one or two scorer every game this tournament. And if he can do that again, we will be hanging in there long enough for us to get into that final 5 minute mode that we get into where
But you guys have
we're
been really good. Yeah, you
and
guys have
it's
been
hard to stop.
you guys have
Yeah.
been really good. One thing I do want to mention: this is the second time ever. If you guys do win this game against Kansas, this will be the second time ever that any team has beaten Duke, Kansas, and UCLA in the same NCAA tournament, which is absolutely crazy because that is 3 of the 5 blue bloods, and you are one of those 5. So there's only one other team
Can't
you
beat
could have had.
And Kentucky was
Yikes!
yeah,
And you technically beat Kentucky, right?
because we beat the team that beat Kentucky.
Right? Technically.
So saying Kentucky, if they
Technically?
were at where they were supposed to be, we would have beat all 4 of them.
You know what's crazy? If that would have happened, it would have been UNC beating the 4 other blue bloods, which just de facto makes you the best one, right?
With a first year coach.
Despite it actually probably being UCLA, like it would have just been you guys now, and that's crazy.
No, I thought UCLA was the best. I thought they were gonna get to the final. I have them where we are right now.
Really? Yeah, they had a good
in
little
my
squad this
bracket.
year, with especially with all the returners. But that's how it goes. That's how it be. And I did think that was a cool little tidbit, right? If they do
Exactly.
beat Kansas, they'll be the second team to ever beat Duke, Kansas, and what was it, UCLA.
That's crazy.
Pretty cool stuff, and that's an impressive run too. And then you throw Marquette in there too, and it's like, wow, you beat 5 basketball schools.
After not beating any basketball schools
And
for most
beating
of the
literally none to start the
Until
first 3
Duke.
weeks of the year.
yeah. Like we get blown out by Duke, we get blown out by Kentucky, um, we get blown out by Miami. Miami put 20 on us.
Yeah, Miami was a good team.
Exactly.
They're
But
a good
it's just
team. Hey, that same team that put 20 on you got blown out 47-15 in the second half.
sorry, Tony.
Sorry, Tony.
Hope you're not watching. But hope
Uh,
you're watching.
Real quick, give me a score prediction.
I'm going 85-82. Caleb Love hits a game-winning shot. I don't know if it's a buzzer beater. I don't know where it is in the game, but I would say maybe 10 seconds left.
Okay.
Knocks it down.
Burke?
76-72 Kansas.
I was going to go 82-74 Jayhawks. Rock chalk, they take it back. But this is going to be a fun game. I do think this will be a good game, especially if if the Tar Heels just play the way they have been, this will be a good game. So I'm super excited about it. I hope Tar Heels win for my boy.
I do
here.
too.
We're not praying for your downfall. I just
No.
It's we're doing a podcast. We're talking sports. I know better than to get offended by someone picking against my team, and I think every game this year, except for Marquette and probably St.
I mean, if
Peter's-
you remember right, I picked against you guys in that game too. So
exactly, we've been picked against every game this year. In this
Not against
tournament.
not against Duke. I'm on
Boy,
record.
hey, I
I'm
saw
on
that. I
record.
watched-
I think I'm
I
on
saw
record
that.
for that also, right? I think I don't remember.
You were on record for it if it was UNC.
If it was Villanova, yeah. If it
No,
was
no.
Villanova, I wanted that rematch like I wanted it.
Yeah.
No, I
that boy had hate in his heart. He needed revenge.
Today,
He was going to sit there on vengeance.
exactly.
The crazy thing
today's the
is,
6-year reunion.
the crazy thing is, we almost didn't have G on this episode. It almost didn't happen.
I
So
know. 'Cause
I'm
we
happy. I'm
lost.
happy that we were able to see you and get to talking. It's always a pleasure, bro.
Of course. Appreciate you guys.
But yeah, any final thoughts? Does anybody want to put a proverbial bow on this NCAA season?
This has probably been one of the most mad ones I've seen.
In terms of tournament,
Just between St. Peter's doing their thing, 4 Blue Bloods in the Final Four, just stuff that does not happen.
Good thing we're not still putting brackets only on paper because there would be a lot of wasted paper this year because
Lots.
brackets got busted big time.
Early.
So,
yeah. Shout out to us making the executive decision to save a little bit of paper.
yeah.
Shout
So
out
a
to
couple
the
of trees
Turtles.
would have went down, but it's been fun.
Shout out
And
Stanford.
it's been dope to be wrong. So that's a beautiful thing about March Madness.
I love being wrong.
Yeah.
I love it so
So
much.
do I, because I didn't have us this far. I'm having fun. Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir.
Heal up, baby. Heal up.
Yes, sir. So make sure
G,
you guys
good
catch
luck.
that game tonight. I think it's at 8:00 or 8:30. The classic Monday college championship game. We'll make sure to see you guys there. We'll talk about that as it comes out and everything after that. We'll have an MLB preview episode coming out later this week. And then we're going to have an NBA playoff preview episode coming out next week. There's a lot going on.
We also got a Yankee spring training vlog where Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs coming out this week, probably tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, man.
why
Just
not?
be
It's
ready
free.
for all
Do
of
it.
it. Turn on
Do
the
it.
noties, and you gonna get your phone lit up. Spectators win live. Watch it, like it, comment,
Spectators
share it,
not. Spectators.
and be back next week.
Yeah, we'll be back next
Exactly.
week, guys. And make sure you check out G's vlog and the Yankee vlog. We'll see you guys next time. Later, everybody. The crew.
Peace.